Alright guys, so what we're going to take a look here is we're going to start to build the walls. We're going to end up having to build two of these because there's a left and a right side to your shed. And what we're doing here is that I'm going to just line this up with the template with the L piece at the top. And then once I get one template piece cut, I'm just going to use this as my, my template for the remaining cuts. And you'll notice that if you take a look at your template, there's 9 L pieces or 9 studs, 2x4 studs in total that you're going to need to cut for this. So it makes sense to get a template piece cut, and then you can just quickly and efficiently make accurate cuts. The one thing that I forgot to mention here is that on your wall template, you can see that there's a double stud on the left side, and there's also going to be a double stud on the right side of that wall. But the printer accidentally cut off the far right side there where you can see where I'm pointing at. So be mindful whenever you're building this that there is a double stud on both the left side and the right side. And I do build both the left and the right side here. I just wanted to kind of draw your attention to that now so that you can have the right amount of wood for this part of the build. Once I've got all my pieces cut to length, then I'm going to come back in with the sandpaper and I'm just going to sand off one side so that they're flush on both sides here, so that they're nice and even for the wall studs. Now once we have everything kind of ready to go here, we can take a full length 2x4 and either pin it in place, or you can do the same thing that you did with the 4x4 runners and put a small dot of glue on the underside of it and then attach it to your wax paper so that it holds steady. Once that glue's dried or your pins are in place, then you can go ahead and start putting in your 2x4 studs. And you can see here that I'm going to build the double stud here on the far left, and then I'll do the double stud on the far right, and then just start to follow the template with the remaining studs that go throughout the rest of this wall. And I'll just continue this process here of putting glue on either end of the 2x4s and putting them into the wall that I have framed out. Quick reminder as always, when you're using glue, you don't need to put a bunch of glue on there, and you'll see that I actually go back in and wipe off the excess with my finger. So the final step in this build here is going to be, once everything dries up, you're going to want to get your 2x6 from your specialty lumber, and you have 2 of them. You're only going to use one on one side of the wall and then the other one on the other side. And you shouldn't have to do any cutting on it. They should already run the entire length of the wall here. And what you're going to do is you're going to glue this in place and then either put a book to put pressure on it so that it makes contact with the top plate, or you can use pins to pin it in place so that it doesn't go anywhere. And you can see I just put a thin layer of glue, and then what I do is I butt it up against the top plate there, and then I kind of run it back and forth on there so that the glue spreads out nice and evenly on it, and then use my finger to wipe up any of the excess. And then once that's in place, I come in with the pins and then I just let it dry. Once that's done, then you can pop this wall section off and start building the wall all over again. As always guys, if you have questions, feel free to email me or ask them in class, and I'll be glad to help you out.